They tried the sim look. First it was JWU through the regular stage of the MEA.
Yeah.
Then they brought IceNom in to play that sim. And hearing from Shockwave earlier said, it's not really our style. I feel like we're better off maybe leaning into something a little bit more us.
We'll see if this is what they actually decide to do. It'll be JWU actually making the change here over to the Pharah. And then over on the other side, it's just going to be Kellex playing the 3. That's a double conk right off the rip. So
Ziad had the defense matrix, but it's just the spacing is inadequate there. Too far ahead. And JWU's threatening more of that environmental kill pressure, but this time AlQadsiah able to get through a TP, and instantly Labda has opened up to the account. He's made his deposits early. It's Gala taken down. And now he's handled the airborne threat. JWU the Menace is off the map for now.
And this team has been the best sim team that we have seen. It's really been the team that kind of started it, right? When we were doing JWU's going to try and find an off angle, right? Put some damage down here and force these players back off the corner and then allow them to get over the bridge.
JWU's managed to wrap around here. Madness and Immortality Field being deployed for AlQadsiah. Lapta doesn't want to get too close to the questing fists of the Ramacha, but that's good damage being put down on Vistola. Immortality Field had to be used here by Virtus.pro. And AlQadsiah made use of theirs a few moments beforehand. An amplification matrix could be a problem, but JWU's got into the backside, and there's a barrage. It'll only be a trade. Good reaction there from Labda. Swings around. Railgun connects onto the Pharah, and still AlQadsiah half-point control. They back off, almost anticipating this air matrix. And now we'll have to give Ziad's mech up at the least, but he's going for a self-destruct. Great disruptor shot from Shockwave, though, means that the pilot cannot get back into the hot seat. Now I'll try and canvas the boat with some of these turrets. There is a wall available. Now for Checkmate. Can throw that at midpoint. Usually seem to play around a TP to the backside. Wall comes up, cutting through the point now. Vortex deployed. Immortality Field dealt with by JWU. Shockwave here is just trying to make sure no interlopers would be able to push up into his face. Still point control for VP, but Fixer has fallen. Good disruptor shot there from Labda, and he cleans up Gala. Shockwave just hasn't had a good target to work with here, man.
Yeah, well, it's extremely difficult, right? I mean, there's players TPing behind you to the side. The TP comes down, you don't know if anybody's actually going to go through it. It's like they come through it late.
He knows he needs to break that line of sight to Labda as much as humanly possible, but eventually he just has to throw caution to the wind.
And Matrix here with this overclock as well as they try and move through the side room.
There's the Matrix. JWU putting pressure down. Dangerous though as the overclock comes in and forces him to dump altitude quickly. Labda's on the hunt. Smell of blood in his nostrils. JWU flattened, has to conk himself across and stays alive. Slow on the healing though with Virtus.pro as JWU's still about half. He needs to go for it anyway. There's an annihilation out in the middle of the field out of the Soul's trying to use it to chase down AlQadsiah, but he could be in trouble. He's in danger. Brought down by the combined forces of AlQadsiah. And with the rally in play, Alcad can brave the storm. Labda felled, but it's just a footnote.
Yeah, it's a really tough situation to play from. So they're going to get rid of the Pharah here. They're going to play Mei, and then they're also going to play Juno, right? So this is like you're trying to split some players off. You're trying to extend these fights here if you're VP.
I mean, this is a good point for VP. They were hoping for control center with the style that they like to play. Labda just caught on too much Shockwave. Now he can play pretty safely and uncontested on this wide angle, but he knows there's a TP thrown up behind him, so instantly he has to respect that and drops down. AlQadsiah waiting, need to regroup and get Labda back in the game. He is their centerpiece. Looks like he lingered a little bit too close to the front lines. And here it is, Ant Matrix now, Landon. Likely just employed to keep Ziad standing, but Vistola gets thrown into the blender. Very quickly they reassert themselves and start their own capture progress.
A lot to work with though for VP. That's an excellent start to the beginning of the round. They get up to about 60%. Getting the Ramatra inside the orbital array, using that Nemesis form, cycling into the Annihilation, gonna be really difficult to get rid of Vistola.
Shockwave with an overclock, trying to make use of this straight away. Hit it immediately. AlQadsiah fall back around the corner. Vistola bounce forward. He knows he's got some space to occupy here. And Shockwave has done his job. He's given him a way into the point, but now they've got to stick it. Pulsar torpedoes come down here from Gala, trying to keep him standing, and there's a rally in play. Terror Surge thrown out by Ziad. Everyone able to avoid it for the most part, and he's going a little bit low. Immortality Field to buy time for Landon. AlQadsiah still with 5 to work with, but they need to get some damage down, and that's a good start. Kellex is felled. Vistola now with the Annihilation, able to run rush shot over Ziad, and Labda knows he needs to fall and stall as long as he can. A respectable 51% here for AlQadsiah. There's a lot of poke potential in Virtus.pro's composition. Compromising position of his Ziad to be in, but he knows he has to go for it. Early ice block drawn out of JWU here, and there's a rally in play for Kellex. That starts the pick on the Mei. Jaber was isolated as he emerged from that ice block, and Gala's going to likely be forced off that sideline. Landon's got to be careful, caught inside. Vortex thrown down at his feet. There was also a disruptor shot, but he's going to go upstairs, get some pressure down on Gala, finishes off the Juno. And now space is taken by AlQadsiah. We're really hard to know if you're going to be able to stick around longer, or if you'll be chucked down to low health and have to use a defensive cooldown like that. Shockwave wraps around, overclock here, gives him a bit of space. The Mei will also lets Virtus.pro get in. Here comes that Terror Surge from Ziad, waiting on the ice block cooldown, but unfortunately the duration is just too short of that wind up, and it doesn't seem to matter. Lambda finds himself two. Fixer and Shockwave scrabbling for position, but AlQadsiah have the lead, and they've caught Shockwave in their left room. This orbital ray is pretty underwhelming. The only player that could benefit from it was Fixer, and he instantly is brought to heel. Now it's desperation. Virtus.pro trickle onto the point, but Vistola's forced off. And there you have it. Clean work here on Lijiang Tower. And off to overlooked skill in Overwatch. And look at this, Gibraltar picked up.
Okay, this makes a lot of sense though. Gibraltar, Ziad's not like a Winston player, right?
Ziad can mantle on top of that building should he choose to do so, but he definitely needs Lambda and Co to soften up the attackers a little more.
Both teams playing for a rush here.
AlQadsiah don't have great sight lines. They don't really like what they see, and Ziad's starting to get pummeled a little bit. They've got to act quickly, and it's not quick enough. Kitsune rushes exchange over the cart here, and Lambda's looking worse for wear. Icenom chases him down. Virtus.pro find that burst of impetus they were looking for and wash AlQadsiah away.
And it forces them back in the server room, and then it puts Ziad in a really tough position, kind of out in the open, not enough cooldowns to be able to survive.
Yeah, the fighting in this area gets interesting because of the jagged wall. The Lambda gets ruined instantly. Cassidy lacks that momentum. Once your opponents are able to dive on you, you really have nowhere to go. And you're never going to win a face-up fight against that hazard. They've gotten a lot of progress now, and Icenom can gum up the work, stand in the doorway, hence the TP is required. It's only Lambda that went across so far. They're running out of time. AlQadsiah, they need to make the gambit here. Icenom tries to go for the downpour. It doesn't pay off. Jaewu realizes he's quite exposed out in the open, and Virtus.pro are trying to fall back here. They've lost Gala in doing so. Jaewu is in absolute no man's land here.
They have to be aware, though. Jaewu is still lurking behind.
This ends.
Overclock here. Ziad positioned pretty far forward. He's going to take some hits from this, but Shockwave might want to find a more juicy target, perhaps. Inside the shuttle they're playing. DP utilized, but Icenom follows them in. Catches checkmate before he can get away. Sound Barrier now committed to the fight for VP. Icenom couldn't benefit from it, but it's fine. Shockwave is caught. There's no escape, and now AlQadsiah might have a springboard to jump off here. Lambda from the high ground controls the space well. It's another pick on Fixer. Now that flexibility is starting to dissipate for VP. Where can Icenom go from here? He garnered enough attention to buy time for Jaewu and Gala to make short work of these AlQadsiah players, but Ziad's still standing. And if they can't topple him, they're not getting a checkpoint. Same little engagement early as Ziad doesn't want to give this high ground position for free and allow VP onto the shuttle, but they have fought for that territory. Now AlQadsiah likely want to try and group up. TP is going to get checkmate out of trouble now. A Deado from the high ground. Lambda cancels it though. Set up for the reload. Dangerous position there for Fixer. Drops down in front of Lambda, who's unaffected by the downpour apparently. Checkmate though, not nearly so lucky. Now around the card, that's a stick, and that was dangerous. Ziad almost carried that into the rest of his team. Jagged Ball thrown up to try and give him some space, and Landon desperately trying to keep him standing, but Jaewu was looking for a reload, and his spike guard takes the Tracer out. But Shockwave found his enemy hit scan. Checkmate has to be careful, but he's going to commit. What a connection with those right clicks, and he'll finish the job. We're now down to 1 minute left for the attackers, and Ziad's sitting on a downpour. Knows again that top shuttle will be taken by Virtus.pro, and he's looking for the players that have been left behind or are straggling behind the main pack. Icenom drops down. Gotta be a fight here on the low ground. A TP might get AlQadsiah around, but they're gonna have a wall in play. Shockwave hindered, hit with the flashbang, forced to back away, reposition now, and Gala joins it, but they're not really in the fight properly, and Landon steps up. A little bit risky, a little bit optimistic from him. He will need to peel back a little bit. Icenom on the high ground, trying to command the space, and checkmate peers in over the top, and there's a sound barrier that's going to make it harder to crack through these VP players. AlQadsiah, though, had one of their own. Now both overshields have dissipated. Jaewu trying to move up the cart, but the numbers are here for AlQadsiah now, and Icenom might have caught himself in the corner. Shockwave slides forward, cart still being contested. Lambda stuck in the corner now, trying to get out with his Deadeye, but Ziad has finally fallen. The biggest target to topple for Virtus.pro, but they're losing players left and right. Shockwave is low, tries to fold around now. Jaewu sees Lambda looking low and tasty, but it's one out by the Cassidy. Lambda, what are you doing? Storm finally brings him down. With that one could have gone either way.
Now it'll be VP with just one more shot at it.
We're going to have Kitsune rushes for both sides and a sound barrier at a very timely juncture for Kellex. Gala lets it go, knows he needs to be the one that blinks first and makes the play. In the back line, Shockwave's looking a bit low, and somehow Icestorm has to challenge the high ground. Labda doesn't know where his assailants go. Oh my goodness!
He knows.
Jaywood tries to challenge him out, headshot instantly, and the Deadeye is superfluous. Icestorm simply vaporized in front of him.
TP comes through, Coach Gun knocks everybody down.
Yeah, but also knocks Shockwave down. He's forced to give up the high ground, and Gala didn't quite get the memo. He's not able to fall back at the same tempo. And Shockwave eventually is picked up anyway by Ziad's second wave push.
Well, you see Icestorm actually down there by the payload. Kellex able to put some damage down, dance long enough to just keep him occupied.
So far the Ashes looks like a bit of a problem. Not exactly the solution. Once again, Shockwave's the first pick here. He's got to start to question whether that hero is the one that's going to give him the most equity. Because frankly, he's barely played the game on this defense side.
Yeah, he's going to go back to the Sojourn right away as Fix are going to have to use the TP just to stay alive. Ziad coming right at him. An even faster point A take here from AlQadsiah. Icestorm's going to drop here. He's got Fixa there working with him. This is so risky, though.
God, it's not where you want to be fighting a Cassidy. Just chaining those headshots together. It's beautiful work for Labda.
You will have the nano. Could be for, like, whether it be Icestorm, damage reduction, or Jaywu. We've seen them use it on both the players at times. It'll be Icestorm that gets the benefits of it.
Gamble comes in. Looks like shrugged off pretty easily, of course. It could be answered by a Suzu. Deadeye being held on to by Labda. It was a gamble. Now you're starting to get concerned. Sleep on Ziad. Unlikely control. Oh my goodness, he just got 2 kills while holding
both
right
support.
click. That is unreal. The backline just served themselves up to him on a silver platter. Now AlQadsiah says, well, I better just tuck in. Here's the wall. Checkmate a little bit low, but things are going so well for AlQadsiah. And the dominoes are starting to fall for VP. Icestorm is too low to be diving like that, but he has no other choice, no option. Kellex at least trades. Shockwave down. Malga makes an appearance. Ziad's trying to finish the round off here. Fixer has to throw himself at the card. There's just no other option. Shrugs off the pulse bomb. Shoulder charge. Thanks for coming. We'll see you in map 3. Big shout out to the crowd here in the STC Esports Arena, and they have absolutely got behind this AlQadsiah team. New Junk City.
You lose
the last chance for VP to choose a map in this series.
I mean, obviously you have no choice, but you lose this.
The Hazard as opposed to Ramatra, perhaps, in terms of your style. But AlQadsiah, like we said at the start of the game, they just stick checkmate on the Tracer. Quite happy with that. Which does mean that the Sojourns headline this matchup, and Kellex is spotted off to the left there, looking a little bit low, a little bit delectable. The Labda's able to trade back, and man, these rails are hitting the perfect targets. Both supports down for Virtus.pro. And in the longer fight, they will suffer greatly. Jaywood's got nothing to do here, folks. He has confused Travolta. Disrupt shot eaten up there by Ziad. Is able to avoid the slash damage from Icestorm as well. The very nimble AlQadsiah composition wants to keep the Hazard at arm's length whenever possible. Slash in dive on Labda. Looks like a Suzu had to be drawn out of landing to keep them standing, and now it's about to Sojourn hits, and Labda delivers yet again. This guy is indomitable. Another 3-piece. And Virtus.pro tried to focus him, Matt. They tried to dive him. They just couldn't get rid of him.
We saw that clip when he was talking with Danny outside.
99 in overtime we are. Labda here able to peer over the top of that jagged wall, which fell a little bit too low to cut him off that sight line, and he hasn't had to do it all this fight. He's been able to relax for one.
Yeah, the wall was supposed to hit, so the vertical portion like blocks the line of sight for Labda and forces him down.
Stall it out if they feel like they're going to lose the fight, get some free percentage. Ziad at least is threatening that, but he might have to back out now.
Yeah, and I mean, Jaywu, that's going to be 2 kills for him. That's going to get a DMAC here on Ziad as well. They should give a fight.
Oh, landed!
Oh, wait, hold on. He's still up.
Checkmate from long range is able to finish the job. That's just how low Shockwave went. Landed. Takes an audacious challenge and is able to win it out for AlQadsiah.
There's no way Landon rushes here, right? I know. I mean, yeah, he's so far behind now. Ziad not able to get back on Mac. I was like...
So again, back to coverage. Checkmate looking for Jaywu constantly. Shots coming in, likely Kunai one's off from the side, forces Checkmate to reposition now. But he sees the backline. Sees Fixer floating as a pulse opportunity. Here he wants to make sure it's certain. He waited for the slide to come out. Now recalls away though. Got a little bit low for his liking. Look how much damage. Thrower sustaining. Pulse didn't connect. That could have gone either way, Matt, but Checkmate Well, he's nimble enough to step away from the blast radius, and AlQad have the point.
It looked like he was about to blink right into it there. Take the point and high ground.
So Ziyad has a second mech opportunity now with that ultimate developed. Lapta, overclocked, he's going to shut the door in Virtus.pro's face, and losing Icedom there is it's not allowed. There's no way to have any fighting force in this fight. Okay, self-destruct here for Ziyad. Okay, a little bit a little bit messy. The fact that he gets Shockwave off the backside, though, is just some extra value. And AlQadsiah now can really stretch this fight. Virtus.pro are going to start to get desperate here, Matt. They're running out of time.
It'll be Icedom using the downpour. I don't think it connects with anybody.
No, Sound Barrier now comes out, and Icedom realizes he's a little bit too far forward for his liking, but it's a beat from Fixer. It comes later. This Pulse, another missed one. Shockwave didn't have his slide forced out earlier on, but he was very low after that exchange. Good healing, but Ziyad chases him down. He's going to have to give up his mech, though, in order to get that Sojourn. And AlQadsiah can't afford to give the point up. This is going to be messy, but they don't have the numbers to maintain control here. Landon's low. Kitsune Rush will have to wait for the next flashpoint.
So we're going to have another... They've actually kind of lined up these rushes, both Landon and Gala, to be able to match each other every single time.
Yeah, and they echo. Those voice lines come out at the same time. But Icedom struggles, able to jump back. Gala desperately trying to keep him standing. Even as Suzu committed. Checkmate realizes he's not going to get that kill. Elsewhere, Jaewoo more successful on his Tracer dive. Virtus.pro knew full well they're at a distinct advantage now. A remake there for Ziyad. Going to be pretty low. It's going to be a downpour thrown in, and it did catch Landon. He's got nowhere to go here. Oh, the defense matrix is perfect from Ziyad. Keeps Landon in the game. That is ridiculous. And still he's got his mech. Landon trying to pay it forward, but now Ziyad will be knocked out of the suit. Labda low on the high ground. Sound Barrier comes in late. Ziyad is still bunny blastering away. So AlQadsiah don't exactly have that same level of kill pressure now.
Yeah, but they have control of the point. They have control of the point. They're going to get up to like about 60% here. Then they lose Ziyad here with a headshot from Gala. Kellex ends up using the beat. The beat's going to get them about another 20% or so.
Yeah, and they're happy enough with this because those beats came pretty much in sequence.
Now it'll be VP taking lead like I talked about. The bad part here for AlQadsiah is they don't actually force that rush. They're going to be the first team to use it.
A double back here from Checkmate. He did take a hit initially, but now he's in. Disrupt the shot at the back of the point, trying to dance with Fixer. Ziyad and Checkmate locked in to take that Lucio down. That was a clean fight for AlQadsiah.
So they will get the flip.
Beats coming up here for Kellex and Fixer in this fight. Those are the key ultimates to look out for. Outside of that, it's good old-fashioned, honest Overwatch. Checkmate has the Mega. Jaewoo can't take it, but he has a healer by his side. Ziyad getting close to a remake opportunity, and Kellex is low, but knows been able to find him. He has a beat. He's built it before Fixer. Icedom goes low, forced to drop to the low ground now. Spike got deployed briefly, but Shockwave is felled first. Labda strikes at the heart of Virtus.pro, and now it's all his for the taking. Gala and Icedom topple, and AlQadsiah get their second flashpoint. We'll have to start doubling back as soon as he realizes he's going to be knocked out. Big ultimate here. Sound Barrier comes in. Fixer's able to deploy it. Labda backs up. This is an unanswered beat. AlQadsiah are going to have to wait it out, but there's that self-destruct from Ziyad. Back in mech should be fine, and Fixer's down to the pulse. Jaewoo's got nothing to do. Caught on the outside, looking in, goes for a recall, but it's going to be a swift step away by Landon, and AlQadsiah start with point control.
The overhealth away from players on VP.
Shockwave with an overclock. This is pretty preemptive. A lot of AlQadsiah now just scrabbling to get back. Keeping Ziyad in mech is paramount, and he's going to be knocked out. Virtus.pro see an opportunity now just to knock it into body blaster form, and Ziyad has nothing to say. The rest of AlQadsiah realize they're in a power trough as it is. Forcing ultimates would be better. We'll have to just accept turning around to fight another day. Ziyad's again in the mix and ready to go once more. Pressuring the backline. Jaewoo traded for Kellex here. No Tracer up for Virtus.pro. Icedom a little bit low. He's going to need some help, but Gala's going to struggle through to Kitsune Rushdown, but he goes low. It's Gala out of the picture. AlQadsiah are back, and they mean business. And it just so happens that business today is pretty good. They'll have to flip. Now the goal in their sights.
Able to just kind of use that flight to get back towards his teammates. It's great use of the defense matrix here. You lose Shockwave towards the end. And dude, I mean, you have a huge support advantage here for AlQadsiah and a fantastic spot to close out this series.
95 and counting. It is last chance saloon for Virtus.pro.
Oh, he got him on the cross!
The Great White North descends on the desert sands and is repelled by the fiery spirit of AlQadsiah, advancing to the semifinals.